All right, my love. So today you're going to get the impromptu live lesson pre-recorded on adding and subtracting mixed numbers. Today and tomorrow we're going to focus on adding mixed numbers. Wednesday, Thursday, subtracting. Friday, we're going to test out of all of our adding and subtracting fractions, okay? So in order to begin, let's review some vocab. We know that our mixed number has a whole number and then part of a number, right? Remember, our fractions exist in between those whole numbers. So it's 1 and 1/2, which means one whole and then half of a second whole, all right? Anytime you see those whole numbers, we're definitely talking about more than one, and the fraction is a part of a second, okay? So when we are adding, we're not going to do that one. So when we are adding mixed numbers, ooh, where's my annotate? See, this is why I miss Zoom, babies. Let's do, I want a pen. We're going to draw on this here screen. So when we're adding fractions, a lot of our steps stay the same. I'm sorry, when we're adding mixed numbers, our steps stay the same like when we were adding our fractions, okay? So the very first thing that we need to do is check these denominators. If they are not the same, are we going to proceed? No, absolutely not. Something is wrong. You get my attention. That should not happen, okay? So our first step is to check our denominators. Since they are the same, we are good and we can go ahead and proceed with our adding. Now, I always recommend that we add our fractions first, but like I said this morning and like I've said many times before, there's many different ways that you can get home. So our first step is we're going to add these fractions, and I'm trying to draw with my mouse, so bear with me. I'm not the best artist on a good day, so I surely am not going to be one on a bad day. So we have 3/5, and then we have 1/5, and we need to add these fractions together. So we're going to remember our steps from last week, okay? Super simple. We're going to add the numerators, which is our top number. So we have 3 plus 1 is, hopefully you're thinking, oh, come back here, pen. Hopefully you're thinking 4. And then what do we know about the denominator? It always stays the same. Denominator does not change. So we're just going to bring it right over and boom. First step completed. We added our fractions. The next thing that I want you to get in the habit of doing is making sure that it is a proper fraction. This cannot be improper. If it is, you need to make it proper. And we'll go over that with an example that we have that would give you an improper fraction. Once you've added those fractions, the next thing you're going to do is add the whole numbers. This is simple, easy peasy, not 4th grade math. Woo! I don't know where my circle went. You have 1 plus 2, which you should all know is 3, said the children in unison. Yes. Beautiful. So far, so good. Hopefully you say yes. The last thing you're going to do then is combine your answers. So you have 3 wholes and 4/5 of a 4th one. And that is it. You have officially added a mixed number. Okay? Not too complicated, as long as this fraction that you add is a proper fraction. All right, now we're going to look at an example where this isn't a proper fraction, so we need to use our skills to make it a proper fraction. All right, so we're back, and now we're going to look at one that has an improper fraction when you add them. So let's take 4 and 4. Sorry, I know it's not pretty, but we're going to get the job done here. 4 and 4/5 plus 3 and 3/5. This should be an art form. Drawing on a whiteboard via the mouse pad. Okay, so same as before, step 1, we're going to check that our denominators are the same. They are, so we are good to go. we're going to go ahead and add those fractions. So I always suggest pulling them down so you have your own workspace for that. So we have 4/5 plus 3/5. Okay, again, we learned how to do this. Start at the beginning again. Step 1, check that they have the same denominator. They do. Step 2, add the numerators. 4 plus 3 is 7. Step, oh man, I lost track. 1, check. 2, numerator. 3, denominator. Bring it over. It stays the everybody else same. You're welcome. Bing, bing, bing. But now we're going to check, is this an improper fraction? Well, yes, it is, because that numerator is greater than the denominator, and we know we can't have that. I think my screen sharing is paused. This is caca-doodle. All right, sorry about that. So you have 4 and 4/5, you have 3 and 3/5. So we're adding those fractions. We got 7/5. So this is improper. We cannot leave it that way. Now we should know that every improper is hiding a hole. So you have 2 options here. You can either throw the chunky monkey off into the box, which I know some of you like to do, and then use division to solve, or you can subtract out the 1. So I'm going to start with using the chunky monkey into the box. Get out of here. You're too big. That's not nice. So what can we multiply 5 by that gets us close to 7 without going over? Only 1. 1 times 5 is 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. So our new number is 1 whole and 2/5. So now we have our mixed number instead of an improper fraction. Hold on, I'm getting there. And 1 and 2/5. The other option, if you want, subtracting out those zeros, so you have 7/5. You know that it's hiding at least 1 whole, so you're going to want to subtract out that whole using 1 that looks like 5/5, because remember, the denominator tells you what it should look like. So what is 7/5 minus 5/5? Denominator stays the same. 7 minus 5 is 2. And how many wholes did we pull out? 1. But this 1 whole is important because now we have to go back to our original problem. We had 4 wholes plus 3 wholes, and now we need to add this whole as well, the one that we, whoa, that was a really big circle, the one that we pulled out, okay? So after you add your fractions in a mixed number, and you go to add your whole numbers, do not forget about that whole number that you pulled out of the improper fraction. So you have 4 plus 3 plus 1, because you took the 1 out of this improper fraction that you made. Okay, this is where the 1 came from. So now 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 1 is 8. So you have, what is 4 and 4/4 plus 3 and 3/5? It's 8, and this piece, oops, why did you stop? And this piece here, 8 and 2/5. All right. Now that may seem a little bit confusing, but it's this part that really throws people off. As long as you remember how to pull that whole out and don't forget to add it in, you should be good. We're going to do one more example like that. And then, where's my black? There it is. And then I'll stop talking. So let's take 3 and 7/9. And let's add 2 and 5/9. Okay, let's do a denominator check. Everything is the same. We're good to go. So we're going to pull those fractions down and go ahead and add them. 7/9 plus 5 9ths. Ah, an ugly 5. Shh, don't judge. This is harder than it looks. Okay. So denominators are the same. Add the numerator. 7 plus 5 is, everybody yells 12. Oh, great job. And the denominator stays the, everybody yells same. Oh, yes. Is this okay? Can we leave the 12 sitting on top of the 9? No, absolutely not. Get off, Chunky Monkey. Throw them in the box. No, no, no. We do not squish the 9. That's not nice. It didn't do anything to you. So what can we multiply 9 by that gets us close to 12 without going over? 1, they all yell. Very good. 1 times 9 is 9. 12 minus 9 is 3. And so you have 1 whole and 3 9s left. So we're going to write that as beautiful as possible. Or you can subtract the 1. What should the 1 look like if you're subtracting it? Check the denominator. It should look like 9 9ths. Okay, so we added our fractions. We have our answer here. Now it's time for our mixed numbers. It's time for our whole numbers. We have a 3, we have a 2, and we have a 1. So what is 3 plus 2 plus 1? Hopefully you all yell 6, and you would be correct. So what is 3 and 7 9ths plus 2 and 5 9ths? 6 and 3 9ths. Don't forget that fraction that we have over there. We took this 1 to bring it here, so we just have to worry about adding this onto our whole number answer. All right? So hopefully that helps you guys understand what we're doing. I'll try to handwrite some notes out for you too. If you guys have any questions, message me on Teams and I will answer them as quickly as possible. Bye.